Alright guys, this is the second official live stream, and I thought, what better time than now to do it? Just passed 5,000 subscribers today, and I just want to thank you guys that came into the stream, but if you're watching this afterwards, it was about 2.5 weeks ago we were at 1,000 subscribers, so that's pretty insane to think about. I'm a little overwhelmed on that, but that just kind of shows you the power of the Linux community just coming together and doing this. And I wanted to do more like a prolonged live stream, maybe play a couple hours of Shadow of War. I had never really got into the game that much, and take some Q&A while I'm doing it. On the first one, I tried to do like a news segment or whatnot, and it just didn't jive very well. And I really loved just hearing from you guys and answering the questions. So that's why I was like, I'll play a little game. But if you guys have a question during this, just ask me in chat, and I'll do that and answer whatever it is. And if you have any Linux help or anything like that you need, or you're coming over from Windows, just hit me up on Reddit. We have the subreddit there, and I'll either answer your question or a community member will. So I love doing this, and I'm really just super pumped about all the stuff that's coming out with Linux and all of just how it's kind of expanding. It's just insane, and just trying to keep up with it all is just kind of crazy. But I'm loving making the videos. Honestly, I'd make more videos in a day if I could, but I've been doing one-a-days and have officially gone and made a video every single day since October 15th and published a video every day. And let me know if there's anything wrong with the audio or video, because I just installed OpenSUSE about a day ago, and I just finished up with that video, so you should be seeing that in the morning. I believe it's publishing around 8 a.m., which is in about 8.5 hours. So you'll be seeing that. Fuchsia OS. I think, so when it comes to distributions, I kind of differ a lot from a lot of people, because Linux itself is kind of the same no matter what distro you do. The kernel never really changes that much. I mean, there's some differences, like Red Hat is usually a little more hardened, but for the most part, it's the same no matter where you go. And it's just mainly just kind of keeping up with, just the updates and whatnot, as far as like kernel updates. And everyone has different package managers and those types of things. So the distros don't really matter to me at all. I'll definitely try out the distros, but yeah, Gen 2 as well. I'm looking at as far as trying both those out. But when it comes down to it, Linux is Linux. And I honestly, I don't think there's one distro I absolutely despise. I'm looking back through it, just thinking of all the ones I've installed, and I would have to say Arch was probably my favorite of all of them. Looking just as far as knowledge I gained, I don't know necessarily I'd stay on Arch, but it was just such a great learning experience, kind of figuring out, and it teaches you as you go along all of what Linux is about, all the little pieces of it. So no matter what distribution you're on, you can kind of go, oh, you know what, I don't like this about the distribution. You can just tear it down and put something else up. So, evening, Adam. All right. Yeah, man. Hey, I love it. Actually, today I published that Linux, 7 things Linux is better than Windows at. And that was my most popular video to date. It's over 5K views in a little over 12 hours now. So I don't know of any other Linux channel out there on YouTube that's gotten that kind of traction in such a short period of time. So, man, just awesome. Blown away, just loving making the content. So, hey, it's awesome. And I just, like I said, I was actually right before the stream launch. I wasn't sure I was installing. Here, I'll actually flip over my desktop. Oh, go. Yeah, I was actually installing my cam drivers, because I was editing all that. So here, yeah, let's see. Yeah. So I was taking like autofocus off because I'm on a Logitech C920 and doing like exposure and all this other stuff and just kind of fixing it up to where it's not like all over the place, because this camera by default in Linux acts kind of squirrely. So I hope you guys are getting the photo, as far as the picture and everything good. But this is all my settings I use for my Logitech just to kind of give it that crisp, clean, because it just tends to focus all over the place. So I have not tried that. I don't mind System D. I've learned it, so it makes stuff easier for me. And I get why people don't like it, but at the same time, I'm just like, Oh, okay. I need to get more into the GUI as far as, especially when I'm making tutorial videos, because I realize a lot of people don't like terminal. But I've been doing Linux server for so long that terminal is all I really know, and it's just so familiar to me. It's much easier just to do a hotkey and just be like boom, instead of pulling up my file. So a lot of times I'll pull up my file and I'm just like, oh, okay. So all right. Well, sweet. Well, I thought, for today's video, I was releasing the Shadow of War how-to as far as setup and configuration, and that should release, I think, 10 a.m. Monday is my planned deal. And for now, I was like, you know what? I never have done like a long play as far as stability goes in Linux. So a lot of people go, well, yeah, you can get it working in Wine or Proton, but how stable is it? And I thought, hey, why not do Shadow of War? It was a little tricky setting up as far as using a beta version of Proton and some other stuff. So I thought, hey, let's go ahead and play that a little bit today. And let me know if the game audio is a little bit too loud or whatnot. I'll turn it down and we'll get into it. Yeah, so I have a day job and a family. Late nights is the best thing. Like before I got on here and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a stream. I talked to my wife. I was like, hey, I was wondering if you want to, watch a show. We watch like a couple TV shows together or whatnot sometimes. And she was like, no, I'm good. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to jump on and do a stream. So I asked her prior to doing this, and then because I don't want to spend all my time on here. That's you gotta take time out for your family for sure. But as far as learning it and whatnot, I'm trying not to sound like, I don't know, almighty, or I don't know how to phrase it, but it's a lot of the stuff. It just comes really natural to me. I don't know how to explain it. Like I can just read a wiki and disseminate most of the information, able to do installs and configurations in usually less than an hour. So as far as learning, usually I can cut out about an hour a day for that. And then for the actual video, usually I can do the recording, chop it up, render it, all within about 30 minutes, depending on the video. About 5-minute video is about 30 minutes. If it's about a 10-minute video, double the time. Usually, depending on the content. If it's just an opinion piece with just me sitting here talking, it's easy. That's like literally 15 minutes to get done. That's why so many YouTubers get in the channel like, hey, I'm thinking about this, and then they might have like a overlay of a screen or something like that, because it's super easy to do. Where a lot of the tutorial videos, you have to put in more time and effort, and frankly, if a lot of them, they're relying on views and this for money, and I don't really care too much about that. I'm so small. Yeah, I mean, it's like maybe $10 or something. And if you're doing that, you got to do a bunch of the opinion pieces just because that's what get the views. The things that are like, hey, this is what I think about this hot topic, and that's just not my style. I'll do like one a week maybe of that type of thing, but I really like just educating, doing that type of thing, and just getting more people on Linux. So I'd rather spend my time on like a Reddit helping someone out figure out a problem they're having on their Linux install than doing some BS on YouTube. So I really just enjoy fixing problems. This is probably the best thing to do. It's just what I'm good at. Hey, how's it going, Joanne? Oh, Proton Tricks. I have not messed around with Proton Tricks at all yet, so that's something I have to get into. All right, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and launch into this game and see what we get. I don't know how well it'll do when I'm streaming. Let me know if it messes with the stream at all here, guys. What time is it in Australia right now? See, we got a couple Aussies in here. 7 reasons to get more views. Yeah. Well, a lot of my older Windows titles and stuff, it is hilarious because I'll get some trolls on there like you wouldn't believe. I think one of them was like, "You should go kill yourself. You're horrible at what you do." And I was like, "That's awesome, man." So some people can be a little cruel on YouTube, but I've been doing it for almost 2 decades now, so yeah, I don't really care what some guy on YouTube says as far as hating on me on my opinion. It just goes with the territory. With anything on YouTube, you get that. Oh, sweet. So it's right in the afternoon for y'all. Yeah, I was trying to cut it a time to where, I could do this for a couple hours and then maybe hit some of the Europe time here in the next hour or two. So, oh, awesome, Finland. I actually visited Sweden for a little bit there. Stayed there for about a month. Gothenburg, or about an hour north of Gothenburg, actually. Yeah, if you ever do videos on YouTube, it's just inevitable. You've really made it when you get the trolls. So it's a big success for me. Hey David, how's it going? Oh, shit.
We need to hunt. Better make.
So, hey Frederick. Yeah, so I played this game probably whenever it came out, and I haven't played it since, and apparently it restored my save game. Oh, okay.
Sometimes I'd rather be lucky than awful, but I'm so.
Oh, man. I kind of need to remember how to play this. Hey, how's it going, Bevan?
The Witch King will try to weaken us.
Yes, he will try to draw us out.
Don't ever show fear. Don't even feel fear. Fear's not no place.
Okay, I need to actually see what my controls are because I'm having problems. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty amazing because this is a Windows-only game, and it does pretty good. It has an issue reading the resolution, and I'm about to go over that on Monday's video about how to set that in a config file. But everything else in here is pretty cool. I mean, have everything on ultra settings sitting in here. That's amazing that we're able to do that. Okay, here we go. Sprint, elven speed. All right. So I actually didn't know that like DXVK and Proton, actually Proton ended up baking DXVK in, which is pretty amazing. That it's getting to the point, I think this year we're going to be, you know, anybody, you know, your dad could install this if you wanted. All right. Let's do this. I think I got it now.
Wind up.
Yeah, I'm not really either. So the last game I played was about 3 months ago. Like, I actually sat down and played. And this one, like I said, I'm just I didn't even know where to start. I was like, okay. I remember playing it for a little bit, but so it might take me a little bit to get reacquainted. Good to hear, Jan. I mean, I love making them.
We cannot trust the mouths of Sauron.
Yes. So the funny thing is, you know, playing on Linux, the performance, once you get it going, it's actually better than most of when I play on Windows, because you don't have to worry about all the background tasks and all that other crap you have to deal with Windows. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how this game does, because I turned everything to Ultra, and I don't know how it'll do over a long haul. I've never actually played a game more than probably 5 or 10 minutes for these videos that I've been making. My Steam library is pretty big, but yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how it does on the long haul here. Yeah, how is it for you guys as far as the picture quality? I tried to do a bigger delay on the stream to help buffer it, because I rewatched the past stream and I was like, it pixelated a bunch, so with the webcam changes and doing that, it should be fine. That's awesome, man. Well, if you have any problems, Bri, check out the Reddit up there. I'm checking that every day, so if there is an issue with your Linux install, post on there and I will make sure to either answer you myself or a community member will get out to you. Yeah, those window managers are pretty awesome. When I tried my i3, I was just so taken back by the difference, and just, you really have to retrain how you use a computer to really make the most of them.
The Orcs' numbers have swelled beyond count.
They're preparing for another push.
No one has seen your father since the last battle. I have men looking for him.
I'm gonna see about maybe turning down the... How's the game volume? Should I turn it down a bit?
What new devilry is this?
The Witch King himself comes to negotiate.
Hey, how's it going, Jordan?
My father's blade.
My orcs have your chamber. Send out the Ranger of the Black Gate to die at the hands of my champion.
Yeah, that's just the ultra-wide shifted down. I went ahead and put it up there. I can do a cropped one, which, here, I'm going to go ahead and tab out.
Refuse, and all that is flesh
Okay,
shall
okay, cool.
suffer. I come for you, town of Gondor.
Yeah, so my actual resolution here, guys, is 2560 by 1080, and that's why it's like shifted down and it's kind of stretched a little bit on the bottom, because the standard 920 by 1080 just wasn't. I could probably put it on my top screen and shift it all down, but it's kind of hard to play for a couple hours like that. So I put my chat up top.
Can I ask this of you?
Give them a show to remember.
Try not to kill him too quickly.
They seem to like their champion's chances. And it must
Thanks a
be
lot,
said,
Gordon.
he
Appreciate
has
it, man.
size on his side.
True, but you and I have him outnumbered.
Your city will burn. The scourge of men will be cleansed by fire.
Osgrels.
So, I return to the dark flame. But it comes for all. It comes for you, man-swine, as it comes for your city.
Bam.
You fought well. Too well. Idril needs more time.
Should I dance for them?
In a manner of speaking.
I came into this arena to fight Sauron's champion! I am still waiting!
Man built. I just know the minute you go down, half the crowd will be in here tearing your corpse to shreds. I'll try to snip the best bits off you as quick as I can.
Show me what you know of pain. You got hobbled! Ranger! You realise we had to put the whole siege on hold for this? I could be burning down stables and looting great halls, but no. I gotta deal with this pink-skinned ranger. Well, hurry up and die so I can get back to it. Gosh. Look at me. That must have really hurt. Die, man, Bill. You're all getting in my way. Move! Stay away from
I don't know what this man-swine's on about. He wanted a proper fight, and here I am.
Poor Grish.
I actually don't have any of those games as far as Call of Duty, Medal of Honor. Most of the online multiplayers like PUBG, Fortnite, I think Scrub was another one someone asked about. They have anti-cheat systems put in, and it's not necessarily, I can't get them working, but unless I actually hack the game and do packet injection directly into it and bypassing the cheat systems altogether, I can't really get around that. And I do have some experience with that, as I about 10 years ago or so, I was really a big contributor to EverQuest's MacroQuest 2 project. So if you guys ever played the original EverQuest, that's, you know, was one of the games I really did a lot of work on.
Here we are again. Last time we mixed it up was a good while back and a long way from here. But this is the place you've chosen to meet your end. And me? I respect that.
Poor Grish.
All right.
Yeah, more of those!
I'm too sharp for that
I
trick.
can't do that. No, I don't. But I'll pick it up. I mean, Mass Effect, I think, is super cheap these days. I've been meaning to play through them too, so it'd be a fun one.
I'll end you! Yes, do it again!
Ooh. Oh, fighting 2 legendaries and I forget all my controls here. Give me a second to get my bearings. I should be fine here in a minute. Oh man, Path of Exile. I put almost 300 hours into that game. I absolutely love that game. I'm planning on doing that one up next on one of them. I actually went ahead and put a card up there if you guys want to vote on the next game I'm doing compatibility on. Yeah. It's kind of amazing. I'm just surprised on how many games actually work now.
End of the bargain. And your champion has upheld his for fighting this pitiful enemy. The Dark Lord promised mercy. Gaze now upon the Bright Lord. I make no such offer! Run! Run! Run to your master and give him this message! I come for him!
I suppose I should have picked up some of those runes. Oh well.
Titus is the Palantir.
Well, I'm always damaged. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright.
It cannot fall into the Witch King's hands.
Take care, Johan. Alright, Java. WMI PRVSE app. I'm not even sure what that is. It's a installer of some sort. If it's a WMI, usually that's an installer package. But Oh man, I don't care. Let's see. I'm curious. It just. WMI. What is that? WMI provider host. Yeah, it's an install package. See here. You might check your event log. You might actually see some more details of what is actually utilizing that to install the package. It looks like something's hanging it up. It says here most times it's an HP service. So if you have an HP printer and HP printer drivers, it's probably eating up a lot of your stuff. But yeah. That's one thing about Linux is the printer support is, when printers work in Linux, they work a lot better because they don't have so much proprietary crap with them. But at the same time, getting printers to work in Linux can be a headache. But once you do, they work a lot better than they do in Windows. Yeah, Fortnite uses, I think, BattleEye. It's a service that basically is an anti-cheat. And the big issue with that is there's no way to emulate that alongside with Fortnite. So that's why you have so many problems. Well, that didn't work out. Oh geez, man, HP is the worst as far as installing junk on your PC. So, yeah.
Scream for me!
Probably should have looked on my map to make sure I'm not running all over the place. Yeah, I'm close. Okay. That looks pretty darn good, man. Oh, 8 a.m. in Middle East. All right, man. Yeah, I kind of picked this time just because, one, it's easy. A lot of my kids are asleep, so I'm able to stream at this time. And it also is real easy to talk to everybody. And I was kind of hoping not to get a whole bunch of people in chat, just because I can easily kind of talk to everybody without just getting inundated if I did like a 7 o'clock my time.
Enough of us survived for the fight to continue.
Thanks, Steven. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's already to 5K. That's amazing that the channel grew that quick, because I think like the top Linux YouTubers, probably
My
Yeah,
father's
probably
been held in the
Lunduke.
war chief's
He's at
camp,
like 60,
but
60k
spotted
something.
before we get
So I
to the
didn't
rest.
expect to really get past 5 or even
Barrymore
10
was late at daybreak.
in a year's time. So the fact we're already to 5k
You
in
want to
literally
go
just a
back
couple
now?
months is just insane.
Alone. That is the way to suicide.
If I wait till dawn, my father will be dead.
I'm saying don't go. I'm saying don't go alone.
The Uruks we captured last winter told stories of a grave walker. Half man, half wraith. A demon.
And what do you believe?
I believe we'd be lucky to have him. Baranor and I overheard the Uruks. They took my father to a nearby encampment.
Destroyed 3 of our war beasts, he did. Just let him try that here.
Oh man, Manjaro. I love Manjaro. It's great. It basically opens up Arch to the world,
Our
so...
brothers.
Idril, we must move carefully. We don't know what we'll find, Idril. Prepare yourself.
I am prepared.
Sneaking around? Somebody pissing your grog?
Come, we must escape.
It's a pig
Oh, that's so true, man. It's kind of one of the big reasons why I created this channel is just because so many people don't understand on Linux as far as what all you can do with it. It's amazing how much people are thinking Linux is still as it was 10 years ago, and it's come so far.
We must make haste.
I think I missed a soldier. Oh, no.
Bulldogs lording over us. No rock till we take the cities. No beast till we have the stone. Who needs a stone?
Oops.
I'll find.
Many thanks.
Good to hear, Alma. Well, let me know if you have any problems, man. I put the Reddit up there mainly just to say, hey, if anybody has any issues and you're just getting into Linux, I always like getting new things I've never seen before as far as issues and problems. So put it on there, and good chance I'll be able to find a solution for you, or at least somebody else will be able to.
Thank you. We thought ourselves dead.
We're gonna make a mess of someone. Nothing stops us. Men take flight. We'll have to look around. We might join him. Free shall eat us, and our they have one. I'm eating it. Look, there's been a murder. I can smell the man filth from here. The sooner he's dead, the better.
Each city in Gondor administers its own justice in all but the most important cases. And in my lifetime, we've always handled legal matters in Minas Ithil. When I was a girl, I recall my father being much occupied with mercantile disputes and other legal affairs. Then the orcs came, and matters of justice yielded to matters of survival.
Gavel always seemed an odd symbol for justice.
What is justice, if not a hammer to beat down the proud nail? There's good looting to be had.
Cannot assume anything.
Understand, Titus.
There's the ranger! Cut you down!
No, it's a Proton game, so it's actually all Windows. There's no Linux compatibility. I actually had to do a little bit of configuration to get this game to work because it's officially not supported under Proton's compatibility list. I think it gets a silver rating instead of a gold or a platinum.
No, definitely Karku.
Oh wow. Alright. Yeah, so if Steven, you need any games as far as things that you don't know if it's compatible or not, you can ask. And I'm trying to make an entire series of games that aren't officially supported by Linux or even Steam Proton, and getting those to work and kind of showing how-to videos. So I have one coming out on Monday for this specific game. I thought, hey, let's go ahead and do a couple hours stream, answer some Q&A while I'm doing this, and just kind of show how stable it is or how unstable it is. But this is actually a very stable game. I haven't had any crashes or stutters or anything after the initial configuration. So
Good blade and the will to use it. That's all it takes. See who's laughing then. Sooner or later.
Close. I know.
Careful, Idris.
hey, Patel. Good morning. There's actually ways to extend Windows 7's life. So Windows XP for business, actually, I needed to have Windows XP on a specific computer because 7 was just not capable of it, and it was using a specific line of business application. So Windows, even when they don't support something, they do something a little funky, and for businesses, they actually create something called like a POS type point of sale, not piece of, a POS version of it where they continue patching it. So like XP itself, I think is, I don't quote me on this, but a couple years ago, I remember it was one of the last patches I did on it, but it was still patching Windows XP. Oh, yeah. So I think that's actually a native game, Steven. Tomb Raider 1 and 2, I believe. Rise of the Tomb Raider and that one are both supported natively.
I told you should not have come here.
I came for you.
This is not what I wanted. For you, or for any of us.
There are things we don't get to choose, but we can still fight.
You are your mother's daughter.
No, it's actually coming out. I have it scheduled for Monday at 10 a.m. for Shadow of War for the entire walkthrough. But if you have any specific questions and you want to get it going tonight, I can probably walk you through it.
Father,
Quickly! What of our men?
we managed to free them. They'll have made it back to the upper city by now.
I heard they caught one of our sentries napping. Slit his throat.
That's right. We have to be more careful now. On account of all those soft-skinned raven pots.
You ever lick a hot iron, glowing red and fresh from the fire? How many times do I have to tell you this? It was a joke. We put leather wings on a category and trained it to jump off.
I haven't seen telemetry sneak onto Windows 7 yet. That one is such a hog. Like, I literally notice whenever it takes over a computer because it will become at least laggy, or I'll notice a performance decrease. And I even noticed it on this machine when I was running it. And that's pretty amazing because this is a 16-thread, 8-core system. Oh, actually, I'm actually really new to the Linux community. I think a lot of people don't realize that, to where I just started using Linux desktop about 2 months ago now, whenever my day one was of my switching to Linux series. So I'm actually pretty new to the Linux community, and like saying GNU and GNOME and all these other things. I was actually mispronouncing them in all my early videos because I would just read the guides and disseminate the information that way, and then make a tutorial video as a way of just kind of learning the desktop experience in Linux.
The general returns. Open the gate. Open the gate.
So open source code, it's a double-edged sword sometimes, but in the end it makes things better because
The armies of Gondor.
whenever a programmer writes something, no programmer's perfect, and having more people do peer review on it creates a more solid product. And that's just anything in computers when programming is involved.
Can you really use the stone to defeat them?
Yes.
Then I will find where it's hidden.
1700 on my Ryzen.
We must return to Shelob. She can show us the location of the Palantir.
The Palantir is here. The war is here. We must weaken Sauron's hold on Minas Ithil.
So when it comes to gaming, it depends on your graphics card. So I have a Vega 64, so I need a recent kernel. And if I'm doing Ubuntu, I'm going to do UKUU, the Ubuntu kernel update, and push it to probably 14.19 or 4.19 or 4.20, just because I see such performance increases by doing that. So it really just depends on your setup. Personally, if you really are looking at just doing a Linux-based machine, try to get like an RX 580. Right now they're super cheap. They're under $200, and they do just a phenomenal job of gaming in Linux. And that's just awesome because AMD's they have this open source initiative around the video drivers that's just awesome. And NVIDIA's is all proprietary. There is like an open source project from NVIDIA, but they're not helping those guys out at all. And you pretty much rely on NVIDIA doing their proprietary drivers, which this year you're really starting to see the tip of the edge here where AMD cards will outperform NVIDIA cards, I think, in Linux, at least probably by the end of this year, which is pretty awesome. Who is the Big Daddy Linux guy? I'm trying to think of. I guess I'll have to look him up. I don't think I know him. Should probably check him out. Because I still have quite a bit to learn too, guys. So whenever someone asks a question I don't know it, I always strive to at least seek and learn that knowledge, because nobody really knows everything.
Oh. I've been killing orcs for years.
Epic.
Shed a lot of orc blood. A lot of black has flowed over this blade. That's why I call it my Black Blade. Stakuga. Darkness consumed. Black Blade. Watch out! He's spawned a fire! He got you, Thor! Feel the Black Blade! Time to bring the world! The blade of the pleased so easily. Oh no!
Oh. Well.
Take him to the throne! You will know dark! Darkness you!
Yeah, I mean, the Linux community, I think, gets a bad rap. Like, from, 5 years ago, people used to, trash on Windows users and stuff like that. It's really not the case anymore. Linux community is just awesome, man. I think a lot of people don't realize how far it's come. Oh, epic, sweet. What was that? Cool.
Menfolk hiding away in the ruins. I know it.
Well, I remember, see, I did a lot of terminal work on CentOS, probably 2012, 2013, and I did notice anytime I asked questions in the forums, I got pretty much flamed quite a bit if it was not like a well-worded question, so. But anywhere I've gone now where I've asked any kind of question, it's been just awesome, so. The Linux community itself has evolved a lot along with the technology. Well, yeah. If you get on here and say, hey, where's the start menu? Yeah, you're still probably going to get flamed. But, it has come a long way. Halls of Valhalla. Sounds like Norse mythology.
Watch his defenses!
Hey, how's it going, Simon?
Can't just be the wind.
Not this time.
Stop and fight me! I've got him here!
Now's nothing.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, reading the Arch Wiki. It depended on what it was, so I didn't read all of it, but there's a good bit. If I ran into something I didn't quite understand, I was definitely looking it up on the wiki. No doubt about that.
The orc practices for war. We will bring it to him.
Resolution is 2560 by 1080, and FPS, I think I have it capped at 60 frames since this is only a 60 hertz monitor. There's no reason to go over 60 frames. If I had a nice monitor with, you know, that supported like 144 hertz, I could go up. Oh, awesome, man. Using the terminal series, trying to think. Yes, the Urban Penguin has a great series on terminal work, and I think he was actually one of my first guides I ever looked at for Linux, and that was early, probably 2010ish when I started looking at the Urban Penguin stuff, and he still is on here, and he is really good. I really like the Urban Penguin. Yeah, I do. I think that will follow, as far as BSD following Linux's footsteps and seeing more widespread adoption. I think Linux with Proton and some other things really will start to see a lot more, and it's mainly from Windows shooting itself in the foot. Like, that's the thing that kills me about this, is I would have never really tried Linux desktop experience if it wasn't for how crappy Windows 10 is and how much modifications I have to make to do well. Yeah, I don't know quite how like the army and stuff works in this game. I haven't really, like, I just loaded up my old save game and I'm like completely lost on how the thing was. I had to look up the controls when I first started the stream about an hour ago.
I know what it is to return from death. I laid in its cold grasp on the battlefield until a squirming, wriggling warmth took over me. 1,000 pulsing maggots crawled over and into me, scouring the dead flesh from my ragged wounds. Now they are with me, always, a churning, writhing horde of torment.
Zugor.
and rend! Blood! Blood for the Dark Lord! You feel that? You're quite the wriggler! You've the memory of a trap!
Yeah! Hit him like that!
Me for the maggots! Gonna make it! Brave!
He's back! Hear it?
I go in here. Let's see. Man, I love Mordor. This game actually, I remember when it came out and a buddy of mine got it and it had real money transactions, and they since reversed direction where they took it all out and patched it so you can no longer do that, which is a good thing. But I thought it was pretty crazy that a single player game had real money or RMT in it.
For a good long battle, but a short one will do.
The thing I don't get about the maggot, right, is if he hates the maggots so much, why don't he get rid of them?
I actually have a Raspberry Pi set up in the other room for retro gaming, just for emulation. But I can't wait till I get through a lot of these AAA titles and I don't have to... I can do all that, which would be pretty cool.
Didn't block that one! In the sword! Nothing gets away from me!
Oh man, an old Windows 98 machine. That's awesome, man.
We've got a killer lurking around.
What? You hear that?
That filthy talk! Get him! Die, talk! That can't have gone far. Find it!
Open Susa is what I'm on right now. Oh, oops, wasn't paying attention. I still have Arch going on my work machine just because I don't have the time to wipe that one out and redo it. I really did love Arch. I can't wait to... If I install it again, I'd do it completely different though. OpenSUSE has its own little quirks, so its package manager uses Zipper, which is actually pretty good. I like it. And I installed the KDE version of it, and it's actually the first time I've ever used KDE, and it's pretty darn simple. I love it for its simplicity. Oh, does it still launch and shut down for a minute on SSD? I don't know exactly what you're referring to there, Fenderi. Really? I thought Arch was pretty darn simple. The only thing I'd say about when I'm doing it, don't learn XFCE at the same time as putting Arch on your machine. That makes it a little bit harder, but it was still not too bad. I mean, these days, the beauty of it is you can learn anything just by reading a wiki and doing all of that. I mean, it's awesome. I don't know what these gems are for, but they seem important. Yeah, Susa. I'm releasing my video tomorrow morning over my first day with it, but it was kind of amazing as far as just how you're able to just install it and go. I mean, it was really awesome for that. Yeah, XFCE needs a lot of customization. Not as much as i3 though, that's for sure. i3 was quite a bit of a adventure. Hey, welcome back, Steven. Oh, ritual. Oh, okay. All right.
Talia. The ring is lost. But I will have my answers.
Shelob! Minas Ethel is on the verge of collapse. We need the Palantir.
The Palantir. Have I not given you sight over your enemies? That is what you seek, isn't it? Oh, I will grant you your vision. But how much are you willing to forfeit in the bargain? Oh, your soul. There's hardly any left.
I must know.
The final attack is coming. The Palantir cannot fall into the Witch King's hands.
We must return to Minas Ethel.
You know, almost all the desktop environments are pretty easy to learn.
The lower city. Where are the archers? I want every man with a bow up on the wall now.
General Castamere pulled us off. We're to be held in reserve.
Why would he do that? We're beyond reserve.
Where is Castamere? I need to find him.
As do I. He hasn't been seen in hours.
Gate.
Get down! They're burning! Get water! Run! Shields! Hold them now! Attack! Pushing forward! Push them back!
Thanks, Acid. Night, Bri.
Reinforcements are coming! Show them no mercy! How can I that? This city belongs to Mordor! Reinforcements are here! Hold the courtyard! We stop them here!
As if dealing with this Gondorian rabble wasn't enough, now I gotta kill you too? So be it.
Gome.
Watchie, be on your guard!
Die already!
Your city is lost,
You're ready to die! Slaughter the manpill!
This city is ours.
I'll slice you in half, human!
Don't let us take the city.
I think I probably should have leveled up a little bit. Just keep powering through the main story, but oh well. Kind of want to see what happens.
I got it!
War is light!
Too slow!
Yeah.
Get the high ground. Your city is lost, extent.
Running down! Attack!
The Witch King will have his prize.
Like that! How adorable! You tried it again!
You talk! Got you
Oh,
now!
yeah. Don't know if I'm going to survive this one. We'll see.
To burn your corpse! Push the man back! I bang flesh from every tower! Carry your corpse to Seragos and put you on display! Bloody You see all of us and die, man pig! Try it again! He's mine! Take him now! Oh, that hit! He's running over here!
Hey, there we go. Yeah, I built out actually a 20 terabyte completely solid state network attached storage for one of my old jobs. It was a beast. It was awesome. It did an entire citrus farm on it. It performed really, really well.
Betrayed us.
I did this for you, Ritual. For your survival. The Palantir means nothing. I would give all of Gondor to save you!
What of our people? Of our honor?
There is no honor in death.
I will launch Steam, David, and it's using just Proton, the built-in. So nothing too special here. I did have to do some special configurations to make Shadow of War work, but I'm going to release a video Monday around 10 o'clock going over that entire configuration. So you could follow it around. It's only going to be like a 5-minute video. It's really, really simple. This is one of the easiest games to actually get working.
You will deliver what was promised. You will hold to our bargain. My daughter's freedom.
Castamere, no!
She is free to die with her people.
Yeah, David, like the main thing, if you want to try this game out, just go into the settings and then change your Proton level to be the latest, and it launches just fine. And that's the big thing. I went ahead and went into a little bit deeper configuration as far as making it look good and also fix some of the stuttering. And now, this live stream, I just wanted to do a little Q&A with everybody, but the main thing was just to show you that it's stable and you can run for hours on it and never have to worry. AMD, Vega 64.
For eternity. Yield and rid yourself of this wraith. Submit to the Witch King's will. Join us, brother. We will add you to our number.
Don't think I'm gonna make it out of this one, guys. Oh, never mind.
Cast out the elf rain and join You will be one of us. You will obey the Witch King. The Witch King awaits you. Submit to our Dark Master. You will kneel before the Witch King.
Return to darkness.
We will purge this foul elf from you.
You are cast out.
Of Mordor cannot be dissolved.
Suffer me. Return to your master. You are banished.
Submit to your destiny. Bring him to me.
Get up, Ranger! You will not claim him today.
Dude.
My lord, I have the Palantir, and we have located the new ring. It is with the spider. You have served me well. Minas Morgul is yours. Now, bring me Celebrimbor's ring. And what of Shura? Send the Nazgûl. All of them.
Hey Matt, did you try Proton DB and check to see if your games are on there, if they have any special setup instructions? Because usually that's the first place I check, especially when launching from Steam. It goes through and actually does that. Shows you the configuration you need.
So it is true.
You killed me.
And yet you live. What is that like? To die and live again? Do you feel pain? Do you suffer?
What of the city? Of the Palantir?
The Nazgûl have taken both. They belong to the Dark Lord now.
Then I have failed.
What if you keep fighting?
He wields the light of Galadriel. We can recover the ring.
Your rings are the cause of all this, Elf Lord.
You can see him.
I see him.
Who are you?
I'm the Blade of Galadriel.
Since when does Galadriel work with assassins?
Great threats make for unlikely alliances. You know this better than most. Now tell me more about this ring.
We crafted it to defeat Sauron. But it was lost to the Grey Spider Shelob.
The Nazgûl will be drawn to the power of the ring.
We cannot let it fall into Sauron's hands. The light of Galadriel, give it to us!
Stay your hand! My light will protect us, but it will
My
not
wife
be
loves
my
Supernatural, man. She's watched every single season, even up to the latest and greatest, which is amazing. It's still going. It's like 14 seasons long.
Try to keep up. Come, Ranger! We must move quickly!
There's no telling how many Nazgûl the Witch King has sent. They must not get my ring.
Can the Nazgûl defeat one so great as Shield?
Together they wield a terrible power.
Shelob's brood fear the Nazgul.
We must hurry.
Shelob has the power of the new ring.
You need not remind me. But powerful though my ring is, the Nazgul wield rings of their own. Our only hope is the light of Galadriel.
And it shall protect us. But I shall be the one to wield it.
Have a good night there,
Ready
Ritual.
yourself, and do not stray far from my side.
Torquimos Lagarias.
Sacrifices must be made.
Why no?
Palmer came to say hi, guys.
Build your army. Your path will be made clear.
The Ringwraith has fled.
Yeah, Finn. It's Palmer.
We must destroy this ring.
It belongs to us.
Your legend holds true, Celebrimbor.
This ring is different. We can use it to defeat Sauron.
I strike down men corrupted by these rings. Do not become one of them.
When the time comes, I will do what is needed.
Perhaps. Get as far from here as you can. The Ringwraiths will return. They always do. Our paths will cross again.
Snoopy, man. That was actually my favorite cartoon growing up, Steven.
sir?
That is the forest of Carnan, and not our concern. Talion. We need to build our army.
Yes. There. That encampment is full of warriors.
Our warriors.
Oh, that was just Act 1. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Our greatest assets are the power of the ring and stealth. If possible, we should remain undetected until we have tilted the odds in our favor.
Did I just...
These archers will be more than just our weapons. They will be our eyes.
Did you hear?
Strong as these warriors are, they cannot resist my ring.
You'll fight on. Then maybe you can conquer a Gondorian city too. What in darkness was that?
There's nothing to do around here. I should head to the pit. See if that big hole knows us what
Did they drop you on your head when they put you out the map?
Another arrow in our quiver.
I see it this time from any of you. You'll regret it. I heard Bruce is finding a piece of conscious in the wind. Not this time. You globs better listen. I'm trying to teach you something here. A skill you'll need when you get to Satin City. Oi! What is wrong with you?
Already our army consumes that of the Dark Lord.
Field, you're only helping the North. All right, this time, no mistakes. I mean it. Plenty more seas like Minas still to conquer. Get your drills right, or you'll miss out on the whole stinking war.
To defeat Sauron, we must first dominate his forces.
Clean up. What was that?
Servants of the Dark Lord, with more than fallen enemies, what we need are living soldiers.
Let go of your humanity. It wasn't worth much to begin with.
Running Ultra, it's all just kernel drivers. So I'm on kernel 4.19.11. As far as AMD GPU Pro, you really shouldn't be using that unless you're using a really old kernel.
Our greatest assets are the power of the ring
That's an old
and
proprietary driver, and AMD doesn't really... I think they might still actively maintain that one, but it's not worth it anymore.
I don't...
These archers will be more than just our weapons. They will be our eyes.
Oh, my screen res also is 2560 by 1080, so it's an ultra wide.
Fine addition to our army.
Train hard, you'll fight hard. Right now. And then make you stronger upon Duna.
Are powerless to resist.
Using you as a rock. We run it yet again.
No enemy in Mordor is safe from the power of my ring.
Put your backs into it, you maggots. You'll not be conquering the rest of Gondor with a weak arm. What do you think you're playing at? Something just moved over there.
He will serve us well.
Start focusing on making you free. From the start.
Let us test our warriors.
Not enough arrows for all of you. Hold still. This is your gun back.
There was also 3 Hobbit films too. I didn't really... The Hobbit ones I think went a little long, but...
Glory to the bright Lord. Right, Lord, guide me. I'm finished. Don't get me, beast. You were.
A promising start, but this is only the beginning. We require more warriors, stronger warriors. We will also require commanders, exceptional orcs who can do more than simply serve as fodder.
But what if... Forest. It calls to us.
We must not be distracted. Building our army is paramount.
Ugly beast, die!
OpenSUSE KDE is what I'm using right now. Just switched yesterday, I believe.
Get tired of things sneaking about.
You know what we're going to
Oh
find.
yeah, KDE Plasma. You're right.
Go, go! It haunts us!
What creature haunts this forest?
Oh, Kanan is no creature. She is nature itself.
She calls us.
Talion, we must move with great caution.
Andy! And me! Not you! Have some... She's picking us off, one by one!
That beasts come hundreds strong.
Get out here and show yourself!
Pit to peak, enslaved our rivers and trees.
No!
I take it this is the work of Khan.
This is the forest of Kanan, and she will protect it with the full power of nature.
This forest is possessed by death as much as life.
The two are bound together.
What is she? The cows?
Susa is a lot easier. Like, literally when I went to install it, you know, I put it in, hit install, just next. Just let the default take over, and then went and ate lunch. And that was it. Yeah, I'm on Tumbleweed. I after having Arch, I had to do Tumbleweed.
They hear her song. They are part of her as she is part of them.
I mainly had to do Tumbleweed just because Vega 64 relies on the 4.19 kernel to really get the most out of it.
She's drawn
So.
in. This Kanan has been busy. Where are you?
Honestly, if you got a dedicated graphics card from AMD, you probably should be on a rolling release, or at the very least, upgrade your kernel to like 4.19 LTS release, or 4.20 just released around Christmas. So, guy back here. The one thing I will say about KDE is, or KDE Plasma, the Discover store just didn't work for crap at all for me, so I just pretty much uninstalled that.
Cut me loose, talk.
I installed a vanilla Arch using a custom XFCE desktop environment.
Spirit of Karnan is tree and beast, fang and claw, root and spear.
Yeah, so if you're on an NVIDIA driver, since they use proprietary drivers, you're probably better not doing a rolling release and sticking to something a little more stable, because rolling releases can break those proprietary drivers. Where AMD, since they're all open source, you can be on the latest and greatest and have a ton of stability to where I don't really have any issues. A lot of times the updates actually improve a lot for me.
Changed and unlike this fleshling. Where is your rot? Your buddings? Do you grow? Do you wither? No. No, no. A lifeless beast are you, but no. For you die and die. Not lifeless, but deathless. A flesh-haunted thing.
Talion,
What would you suggest I do?
Throw down your sword and kneel.
I will not kneel to this thing.
Come, deathless one. Bring you to rot and ruin, will beasts of Mordor. Tooth and claw will cure.
Keeper of the Wild! Conan!
Who do you call to?
Suffer with us. Hear our thunder, fleshling.
Well, take it easy, Jan.
Wounds reopened. Now we bleed.
Oh, hell.
I take it this is also nature.
In all its fury.
Can you tell it to stop?
One does not reason with the wind.
We burn with you, and return will we. Die alone, we. Nature's tomb spell.
Well, it seems this Conan isn't as powerful.
Unleashed to rise and rise again. In a hole go you.
What have we unleashed?
The cry of the forests. The scream of the rivers.
Great spirit of Khan.
Cease all cry and clamor. You have woken Torgorot, cracked and creviced until now. I opened the Dark Lord. He stokes its flames. Forge its cage like kindling for shattering fire to come. Burn you, burn we, a fire for all it will be.
What have we awoken?
Undead! Ringmaker, your forge sings. A crack across the land. Fire woken by a cold metal ring.
We hear your call. Allow us to help.
Yes, you will. A deathless beast. You, a flesh-haunted thing.
We will find Tor Goroth.
Go now. Your Balrog waits. He rises in doom shadow. Fight till death and rise again. You will fight. Soon and soon, death will defeat undead.
Yeah, actually, as far as Assassin's Creed games go, I think I have like Assassin's Creed 3 and also, I think Unity. I think I got one of those with a graphics card.
It seems this ring has woken more than Sauron.
Yes, we must go to Golgoroth and deal with this Balrog.
Does anybody have any issues with Assassin's Creed on Linux? I didn't actually check to see if it was native, or I know it's not native, but... Oh, hell.
Find the spiders!
Oh man, really? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go ahead and load it up. That's not a bad idea. I'm curious to see how Uplay does. I pretty much hate Uplay, but you know, that's alright.
Remember what the paintskins have done to us? Use your anger! Let it make you strong! You're the sorriest excuse for a globe I've ever seen!
Didn't see that coming, eh?
Chop you! Saw that coming, eh?
Talion! I saw you with that orc! Don't deny it! Pressed into your breast in that loving embrace! Don't you deny it! You lie, you die!
Vlog.
Hey, did you do that to you? I can smell you, did you? Hit him in the guts like that! Have a love of light now, You want this?
Yeah, it is, man. I'll tell you, I never played GTA 5, and when I loaded that up just because a lot of people asked for it, I was just shocked at how violent it was.
I just want you to love me!
Oh. There's a watchtower around here somewhere. There it is. Alright.
Logging these forests will take ages. Smart thing would be to burn them all down.
You know what the best thing about fighting a Tark on a horse is? I guess. Horse brings the meal directly to you. Anohi Ionten!
Yeah, I actually loved Shadow of Mordor, so this one's pretty cool. I just never really got into it. I just don't really have too much time to play games. I just thought since I was doing a review of it, I think someone was like, I forget, one of the comments from like a Windows user was like, well, Linux doesn't play games very well. You can get it to load and everything, but you can't get it stable. And I was just like, that's a lie, man. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna just do a couple-hour live stream, and we're actually 2.5 hours in right now, and this thing is played flawless. Good luck trying to get that kind of consistency on Windows.
Alright, what quests we got?
Orcs fight each other endlessly to climb the hierarchy.
Then we shall find the ones who rise to the top. They are who we want in our army.
Mordor has no shortage of seasoned warriors.
From them, we will build our army.
Yeah, more of those!
Nurn is overrun with orcs, perfect for our purpose.
What became of Lothariel? The people? Queen Marwen, it was she who first suggested an orc army.
This time will be different. We have the new ring.
Ooh, Forge Army.
I've had enough of your mouth, Bruise. So now I'm gonna kill you, for all these orcs to see.
Always said you were an optimist. Know what that is, mate? It's about sizing up a situation that's bloody impossible and saying, yeah, all right, I'll have a go. I'm exactly the same way.
Thanks a lot, G-Wolf. My pleasure, man.
I like him.
Oops.
Reckon you're going to skewer me? Ah, that little sword's good for a tickle, maybe. But you're gonna need more than that to take me down!
Bruise.
Thanks, Hama. Hmm.
Didn't see that coming. Good hit.
Lucky Ranger, we get you still.
I think that's it. Oh, no.
He's on his feet again. This can't be. This isn't right.
You are mine. You serve the bright Lord now.
Bright Lord, Dark Lord. Same thing, really. Results me ripping spines out, which I like to do anyway, so either way's a win.
A fine addition to our army.
Name's Bruce. From here on out, I will be your shadow. No one gets to you without my say-so.
Don't worry about my enemies. They will all follow eventually.
You want to plant your flag in Mordor, you'll need to do it deep. There's a fortress nearby. They say it's ruled by a two-headed troll big as a mountain. Deadly smart, which, I guess you'd have to be given the two heads. You take him down, you'll send a message to Sauron, and get yourself some nice new digs as part of the bargain.
I'm not going to do this alone. Gather your troops.
Will do. Ooh, just make sure you let me pop his heads off, won't ya?
All right.
Weakening enemy power is important, But what is most crucial for conquest is strengthening our...
Night, Steven. All right.
Forces. The Nazgul have surely tracked him.
They will find more than they bargained for.
Nasty beast! Picked a wrong!
Clean wounds, and they never unsheathe their weapons. This looks like Eltariel's work.
Oh, she is indiscriminate. By the look of it, some of these would have made good followers.
We must find her before she eliminates all our potential recruits. Though if she did, we'd have little need of an army.
If you were looking for ring wraiths, you're too late. But before I engaged him, he was speaking to an orc who was... different than the others.
There are worms nearby. Perhaps they can tell us what is going on.
If we take them alive.
You don't decide whom I let live, Ringmaker. You'd both do well to remember that.
Or something to be able to dominate groups. But he didn't deserve what he got. Oh, you mean the Tsar?
Join us, brothers.
Gone all blurry.
The Nazgul have dealings with special orcs. What are they?
They're called the Chosen! I don't know what they're chosen for! Wonder how the biker got that name. Just moved. What do you reckon's the best way to inflict pain? Me? I need to trade this. Tricks. I like to beat the That's dead Wait! I smell something.
the Nazgul. We need the worms alive. Smell something. What is the purpose of the Chosen?
Secure the hide here. It's something to do with the Seeing Stone. That's all I know!
What have the Hydeia revealed? Only the Shriekers know. The Chosen kill anyone else who gets close.
Yeah, I actually had AMD for a while, and then I had the Dominator series chips, which really were crappy chips, and I ended up moving to Intel. And then Intel really pissed me off when I had to upgrade my card, or upgrade my motherboard when I had a CPU go out. And you know, they just kept changing the chipsets and motherboards every single iteration, and it just made me so upset that I was just like, that's ridiculous. Back in the good old days when you could just have a motherboard and go through 2 or 3 CPU iterations before having to upgrade it.
Yeah, he's back! Die! 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 Tell me what you've got!
Oh man. Alright, well, oh well.
Oh, that lumber. Oh, they don't expect me to do anything with it.
The Chosen, where do they come from? The Shriekers make them in some kind of ritual. All very secret. I don't know where.
More orcs are coming. I'll deal with them.
So long as the Witch King has the Palantir, any towers the Chosen hold will be his eyes.
Then we must blind them.
The ritual to create the Chosen, where is it performed?
No one knows. When the captain's selected, the Shriekers send a worm to tell him where to go.
We must tell Eltaria what we know.
This need not concern her. We have our mission and she has hers.
Her mission is the destruction of the enemy that tracks us. The more information we share, the better.
Were your messengers forthcoming?
The Witch King is using the Hydeia to track the ring.
They extend the Palantir's reach. Orcs called the Chosen guard them.
And the enemy may hold the Palantir, but the Hydeia themselves are vulnerable.
So, we know their design.
And now we dismantle it.
All right. I think the Ryzen CPUs you're talking about for pickiness is the A series with integrated graphics, and they don't like mini memory over 2400. I have run into that, so be careful if you're going with that. I don't recommend the A series at all. However, the Ryzen 1700 or 2700 without the integrated graphics, phenomenal. I mean, they perform awesome. I'm on an 8 core right now, 16 threads, and it cost me like $200, so pretty sweet. Alright. I think I'm gonna hang it up for the night, guys. Gotta wake up tomorrow, so. Time is it? I think 2 hours. Yeah, I've been playing the game for about 2 hours and 45 minutes, so that's a hell of a good run and not one hiccup. That's kind of crazy, so hey, you can't beat that. Linux gaming, man, it's coming everywhere, so I think I'll go ahead and quit. Show you guys my desktop real fast and then probably end this stream. Alright. Yeah, I know. This is just what I got. I got about 200 games, so if there is a game that you, or yeah, 193 games. If there is a specific game that you guys would like to see, let me know. I probably have it in here and can easily make a config and get it going. There's only a couple games that are pretty much off limits, and that is things that have like that need like to be injected, such as PUBG, Fortnite. They have anti-cheat systems. There's just no getting around that. So appreciate y'all coming out, hanging out with me. It was just a lot of fun, just being able to chill and kind of show off some of the Linux gaming and stuff. So, you know, anybody watching this in the future can easily kind of go through and see, hey, this is a real thing. You can play 3 hours completely fine on a completely unsupported game in Linux, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, here's the plasma. Yeah, this is the first time I've been on KDE for 2 days, and it is pretty sweet. It's very, very easy to do, and just, yeah, I set the whole thing up in probably an hour. It didn't take me any time at all, so pretty awesome. But, alright guys, well, I hope you all have a good night, and I will be releasing a video in the morning around 8 a.m., so here in about a little under 6 hours, I'll be releasing a video, and that's going to be over OpenSUSE, what you see here. So you'll be seeing that here in a little bit. And then the following day, I've already queued up all the configuration for Shadow of Mordor. So if you do have this game, or not Shadow of Mordor, but Shadow of War, the sequel, if you do have this game, you'll be able to play it. Just follow the config that I'll put out. It's only a short 5-minute video for that one. It was very easy to do, and I think everyone will really, really enjoy it. I know I love actually sitting here. I really had to just stop and enjoy some of the cinematics because it is just such a great game. So I've been using Linux desktop experience for about 2 months now. Actually, let me pull up let's see. I can tell you guys right now when I started, because I actually started the challenge because I kind of dabbled in it a little bit, and let's see, when was that? Day number 1. November 14th was when I started completely switching over to Linux. So this is so actually, wow, yeah, I haven't even been on it for 2 months. Next Monday would be 2 months on it, so that's pretty sweet. I didn't even realize it was that short a time. It feels a little longer. But yeah. Oh my god, those headphones. Ugh. But all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down for the night. Thanks for coming out, celebrating the 5,000 subscriber mark. It was phenomenal. I'm going to try and do a stream maybe once every couple weeks, or maybe even once a week if you guys want to do it. If there's a game to play, I will definitely do that. But y'all have a good night, and I'll see you in the next stream or the next video.